Hi, everyone. We have Coach Saleh. Coach, whenever you're ready.
Going to give some of these guys a chance to get in.
Recording in progress.
Give them guys a chance. Give us another second. Good. All right. Morning, guys. I'm going to start with injuries real quick. On offense, Jeff Smith, who did not finish the game, he'll be questionable for the game for Thursday. Mims is in the concussion protocol. He's most likely going to be out. Zonovan Knight is will also be questionable, but his arrow's pointing up. He's dealing with an ankle. Corey Davis is we feel very confident that he should be able to roll on Thursday. Mike White is still going through evaluation. Quinnen's arrow's up. Hopeful to get him out there on Thursday. Joyner will be questionable, and then Eccles will be out.
Robert, if Mike White is healthy, will he start for you guys?
We'll get the clearance first. That's something I've got to talk to the offensive staff about. If he's, we'll see what happens. I'm not prepared to answer that one, Connor.
Robert, Quinnen was 50-50 pretty much all week. How close was he yesterday? And how optimistic are you for Thursday?
It's probably more wishful thinking, hoping that he'd wake up on Sunday and be ready to roll. It just wasn't. And at the same time, we feel very optimistic about Thursday. Obviously, he's got to do a couple of things, but he's better than 50-50 this week.
Robert, now that you've had some time to review it and think about it, I asked about your time management yesterday. Any second guess of yourself on the way you used the timeouts and that last drive?
Yeah. I don't know. I think I got about a half hour's worth of sleep last night. But I'll go through it with y'all. I think it's not from a justification standpoint, but there's stuff that I definitely could have done better. We took possession at the 25 with 1:49 on the clock with all three of our timeouts. And, thought process for us is to save those three timeouts up until a minute. You want to save them for a catastrophe, whether you need them to whatever situation. So you're trying to save those timeouts to inside a minute. So we took the sack on first down. We're good with letting it run. That one checks off fine from an analytical standpoint. 2nd and 19 goes incomplete. The 3rd and 19, there was 1:22 on the clock when it got snapped. And you could argue for a timeout in that situation. We felt really good about when we looked up, there was about 1:15, 1:20 on the clock. So again, analytically, we feel good about the decision to let that run and to continue playing. But from there, it's textbook. Next ball in bounds is call a timeout. First down goes incomplete. And with 53 seconds left, 2nd and 10, Garrett catches the ball for a 10-yard gain. This is the one where I definitely overthought this situation. That's the one where I definitely overthought it. Call a timeout. There's 49 seconds left. Felt like we got the better end of a spot, and I was trying to beat New York on a challenge, and that's the one I overthought. It didn't matter. We're not playing for downs at this situation. We're playing for time. And when you look at it all, I definitely probably cost us one more snap in that transaction. So something that I definitely need to be better at. Definitely overthought it, and wish I could have that one back. The rest of the game played out the way it did. So,
Robert, you always want your players to be accountable when they make mistakes, and I think you've always been pretty good in this situation. But do you think it's important when you feel you've made a mistake to say it publicly and send a message of accountability to your locker room?
I just think you need to be yourself and just be truthful with everything. It doesn't, part of, it's not to release a statement, whether or not I preach that every day or not. That's just who I am. And you just want other people to have that same type of mindset to always. I don't think there's anyone in this building who looks inward more than I do. The biggest thing you want to do is give your guys a chance to make plays and just to give them do your job, to give everybody a chance to make a play and just to be the best version of themselves. And in that situation, I definitely could have been better. Like I said, I overthought it. So.
Hey, Robert, just a question on Mike White. So what is he getting more scans done today? Could you explain what exactly he has to go through before he's cleared for contact?
That's a good one. I think that's going to be more with him and again, all the different opinions that he's getting outside the building with regards to getting more scans. A lot of doctor talk. I'm not going to get into it here, but there's more scans just to see how much he's healed. One of the so there was talk that they felt like a week could show some more healing, some callus, if you will, that will allow him to get on the field. But again, that's something that he would have to get from another doctor and still be able to talk to our doctors about too. So there are a lot of hurdles that he would have to go through.
So it sounds like by you remaining non-committal publicly, waiting to hear on his results, it sounds like he would be your guy if he were healthy.
There's a lot of timing and all that involved too. But again, I've got to talk to the offensive staff because Zach also did a lot of really good things yesterday too. So it's just something we got to talk about.
When do you need to know who your starting quarterback is, Robert? With the game being Thursday, I guess this would sort of be like a Thursday in a normal week, right? Pretty quick.
Pretty quick. I'm guessing. I really don't have a time frame for this one. I just for the quarterback, the good thing is that it's all walkthrough, and just like last week, he is cleared to practice walkthrough and do everything. He's going to participate as he normally would. But at the same time, you want your starting quarterback to take all these walkthrough reps too. So we've got to make a decision.
What was your evaluation of Zach, Robert, after watching the film?
Thought he had a really nice first half. Came out, we started a little bit slow in the third quarter. Really pumped for him though, because in the past when he's kind of hit a speed bump in a game, it kind of derails. But I thought he did a really good job of getting back on the rails and swinging back up in the fourth quarter to lead a touchdown drive. I wish I could have been better for him in that 2-minute drive to give him that one more play. Thought we put ourselves in. He did a great job making some 2 really, really cool throws to get us in position to kick a field goal, albeit a long one. But I thought he did a nice job. There are some things that he definitely would want back. And like I said, it all happened in that third quarter, but credit to him, credit to the staff. I mean, they did a really nice job. He got back on track and finished strong.
Robert, it looked like
making sure on this, if Mike can't go, it's going to be Zach, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Robert, it looked, not to nitpick, because as obviously everybody nitpicks Zach, and every quarterback, but it looked a lot of times like he was zinging, he was whipping it a little bit too much, and there was a pace issue on some balls. Is that something that you and Mike have spoken to him about or will?
Well, you always do. There's he's always in constant dialogue. He knows that there's some things where he's got to throw with some touch, but then there's also things where he's got to rip it in there to thread a needle, and that's part of his gift. I mean, the guy's got a cannon for an arm, and that ball comes out hot. And it's things you've got to learn. I mean, the frustrating thing is that this kid's going to be a good quarterback. The NFL and this new instant coffee world that we're in just does not want to give people time. And so we look at him, and he is just nitpicked with it, and just with a fine tooth comb, everything that he does. And it's rightfully so. I mean, it is what it is, but he did a lot of really good things. And so we're going to try our best to focus on the things that he did good, and make sure that we kind of bring that to life, and we'll continue to work on the things that he needs to improve on. But like I said, he came on the second half. I think we all agree he was missing on some throws. He was missing on some reads, but for him to kind of get himself back on track, I thought that was really good by him and a big step in a direction that he'd been struggling with in the past. And it just shows at least some maturation in my mind, with regards to mental fortitude in terms of getting back on track and finding a way to finish a game strong.
Robert, because of how much the organization has invested in Zach with where you guys picked him and things like that, if things are close between Zach and Mike from a talent perspective, does the tie go to Zach? Is he the one that the organization will favor in a starting role?
That's a fair question. But I do think that what we do represent here, and I think Joe's on the same page, that once you get drafted, it doesn't matter. I don't care. And it's something I learned from Pete. I don't care how much you get paid. I don't care where you've been drafted. If you're better by that much, you're going to play. And that will never change. That will never change. It's and the greatest example for me, the eye opener for me, was when in Seattle we paid Matt Flynn all that money, and Russell Wilson as a 3rd round draft pick was that much better, and he became the starting quarterback despite all the money invested in Matt Flynn, who's a very good quarterback. So it's I've been, knock on wood, I've been in Jacksonville, San Francisco, organizations that have the same philosophy in terms of the best people will play. It doesn't matter draft choice, but hopefully that answers your question.
Couple more questions for Coach.
Robert, on the Brock Wright touchdown, after looking at the film, is there anything you saw that you didn't realize yesterday that was chiefly responsible for the breakdown on that play?
No, it was a play that they've run a lot, the old juice play. And it's something that we should have covered. We should have had covered, and if we do our job, we win the football game.
Robert, you mentioned last night. You said it's a secret that we have to win these last 3 games, get in the playoffs. I guess what makes you think that your team has what it takes to do that? Because it's obviously a tall task. Have some tough opponents coming up.
We've shown it. It's been a tale of 2 halves, and it's I kind of talked about it in training camp. This whole season is going to come down to a young team in the 4th quarter winning football games and making those plays. And in the first half of the season, albeit as we look back, in the first half we made those plays to win the game. We were taking the ball away. We were closing the door. We were making plays on offense. In this back half of the season, we're getting stuffed on the 1 yard line. We're giving up punt returns. We're not getting the ball on defense. We're not making the plays in the 4th quarter to win these to win. The good news is that we're in these games and we're putting ourselves in position to win. We've got to go back and find a way to recapture what we were doing in the first half of the season over the next stretch of games, and hopefully extend it. But it starts with Jacksonville, quick turnaround. But we've got to find a way to finish in the 4th quarter.
Well, Robert,
you,
what's
Coach.
happened to the offensive line? I mean, the last couple. I mean, especially yesterday, there was like 0 movement in the running game. What's going on there?
It's got to be better. I can give you the empathetic "woe is me" card, but nobody cares. We've got to be better.
Okay. Thank you,
We're
Coach.
good. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, everyone.